King J back with another video. I see a lot of people talking about which game is better, Tekken 7 or Tekken 8. I'll give my thoughts on what I think about both games. So, first things first, I know a lot of people don't like Tekken 7 because obviously there was like top tier characters like Akuma, Geese. You know, at the later end of the lifespan, there was other characters that were really annoying like Kunimitsu as well. But what I would say is Tekken 7 had first Tekken World Tour, you know? And they created Tekken 7 when they never had that much money, because remember, Tekken Tag 2 didn't make that much money. Or the money that they wanted to make a brand new game. So we probably might not have been here if it wasn't for the success of Tekken 7. And remember, this is the first time they had like DLC, you know, season pass and stuff like that as well. If we're talking about a gameplay, because some people might be like, all right, cool, you know what? That's not gameplay. That is solely like, you know, stuff around the game. Gameplay wise, I liked it. I think Tekken 7 to me, it allowed me to have to go into the lab and, you know, if I lost against someone, I can clearly see who's the better person. If we compare that to like a game like Tekken 8, I'm losing to people that I honestly feel like I should not be losing to. That's me being honest. That's not an ego trip. That's not none of those things. It's just like, I'm someone that can kind of like understand the situation in the game. Tekken 8, I can't really understand the situation. Tekken 7, I kind of be like, oh, all right, cool. You know what? Maybe da-da-da-da-da. But in Tekken 8, it's like, there's loads of crazy random situations, things that shouldn't hit, wall situations where you should be splattered on the wall, but then sometimes it doesn't splat on the wall. There's a lot of different situations. If we talk about graphics and comparing graphics to Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, it's night and day, right? Like, it's night and day. If you look at Tekken 7, look at all the characters that started at the start of the game. Then, you know, you got photo mode. Check out Leroy's face, Pakram's face. Progressively, the graphics with the characters got better. But at the start of the game and the base game, yeah, a lot of the characters didn't really look great. But that's just how it is. But then if you look at like this game here, like there's a lot of stuff going on, even effects and stuff like that. There's a lot of effects. To be honest, I kind of like Tekken 7 where it didn't have a lot of visual clutter. I feel like in this game, there's loads of things. The bar is, you know, if you look at the bar has like, you know, bare stuff going on. Like, you know, like it's got this kind of like flame effect, yellow flame effect. And then if you look at like, you know, just certain things with the characters, like if they do like powerful moves, they got loads of like visual clutter and stuff like that. I'm not really for it. But if we talk about like characters and detail, like let's say for example, if I did something like this, photo mode, the photo mode is absolutely sick. Stages are sick. Like, you know, like the detail in like just the wood. I know this sounds mad crazy, but it's like small little details in the stages are really sick. But if you compare it to Tekken 7, the detail isn't that great. And this is just like one stage, right? Now, if I do something like this, where like the photo mode is mad sick in this as well. Like you could actually see the level on Devil Jin, like the shine, you know, the lights. Like this is sick. You know? And even like the blemishes in like Devil Jin's face, he's like, I think it looks sick, personally. You know, I don't know if Kuzu is gonna be in the mix. All right, hold on. There we go. Like, Kazuya looks sick. Like, mad sick. Like, Kazuya looks actually, like, older in this game. Like, the wrinkles and, the graphics, the characters, night and day. Tekken 8 graphics are amazing, but the visual clutter is a lot. Like, there's effects. Like, even, like, the you know, the Electric Godfist. Look at, like, I mean, just the way how it's got like all of the effects there. I kind of like it to be a little bit more subtle, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. If we talk about like stages, Tekken 8 wins, I have to say, flawlessly. The stages in Tekken 8 are absolutely sick. Like, I would say that there are some good stages in Tekken 7. Is there any memorable though? Like Geese Tower, the Geese stage is sick. I like that stage. I like what's the one? I like the Infinite Azor. That one was good. Obviously that's the Waller stage. I like What's the other ones that they had that were really good? I like Lee's stage as well. Lee's a bunker stage. I think that's pretty sick. But yeah, like there wasn't really memorable stages. I'll be so raw. Dragon's Nest. Dragon's Nest stage. I don't know why Dragon's Nest is not in Tekken 8. Dragon's Nest and Moonlight Wilderness would go crazy if they added those stages to Tekken 8. I don't know why Dragon's Nest. Dragon's Nest is it's in Tekken 5. It's in Tekken 7. Like, why is it not in Tekken 8? It's such a staple stage for Tekken games. I just don't know why it's not in there. But yeah, like, I think Tekken, they got a few good stages. I like Yakushima. Coliseum of Fate is pretty sick. Rebel Hangar. Golden Destiny is okay. I can get with it. It's kind of a bit anime with all like the tornadoes and all of this, like, and all these stuff floating in the sky. It's a bit tornado. It's a bit anime. This is anime. This is in Jin's mind. Very, very anime. I like this stage, Sanctum. Pretty sick. And then, like, I would say that Into the Stratosphere is where you've kind of lost me. Obviously, this is the stage where, obviously, you know, it's a bit of a story spoiler, but I mean, Tekken 8's been out for a year and a half, so sorry. But, you know, this is where Devil Jin and, no, not Devil Jin, Angel Jin and Devil Kazuya fought. And, bro, humans are not going to be fighting on no stratosphere, like, into the, yeah, it's not really my thing. But, again, humans are not going to be fighting into Devil Jin's mind, but it's whatever. This stage is cool. I think it's pretty cool with the llamas and stuff running around and whatever. It's pretty cool. And then you go to the bottom of the stage, and then it's got like all of the explosions and stuff. Celebrate, like, you catch my drift. There's a lot. This stage will be memorable for many years to come. This stage is obviously, you know, there's always like a dojo type of stage. Iconic. Lee's Elegant Palace, I think, is really good with Lee Chaolan's thing. Like, there's good stages. This one is probably, Midnight Siege is probably one of my favorite ones, if I'll be honest. I like the fact that everyone's like shooting and there's like a war going on, and then you're just in this building fighting. I think that stage looks mad sick. So yeah, that's one of my favorite stages. Jumanji Temple's cool. And then Pack Pixels, yeah, we don't talk about Pack Pixels. But yeah, moving on, I would say, like, in terms of gameplay, combos, like Tekken 8 combos are insanity. Like, you're in the air. It's like someone's playing kick-ups with your body. Like, you're just in the air for ages. Like, it's mad long. Like, I'd say like 10 minutes you're in the air for. Let's say, and then you do something like this. Well, I don't know Devil Jin's stuff. Let's just say he does this. Where has he got the knee? Then boom, 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 boom. You catch my drift. You're just in the air for ages. I think Devil Jin's probably the worst person for me to do the combos on, because I don't know the character like that. But just have a look around. Look at the Tekken World Tour matches and stuff like that. Most of the time, a lot of the game plan around Tekken 8 compared to Tekken 7 is, all right, I'll be honest, it's based for mainly newcomers. And let's be honest, there are a lot more new players playing Tekken 8. So I know a lot of people don't like it on the pro sector of it, including me. I don't like the way how Tekken 8 is. But I do also feel I understand where the developers are looking at it, where Tekken 7, you have to Korean backdash to get out of a lot of situations. And obviously a lot of people didn't know how to Korean backdash. You know, they didn't want to watch the tutorials. They didn't want to watch the blasted salamis, the King J's, or FDX, or whoever else's tutorials at the time to learn how to do Korean backdash. People just wanted to pick up the game, play, press buttons, and have fun. And that's what Tekken 8 does. It allows people to pick up the game, press buttons, and have fun. But again, if we're talking about it on a pro scheme of things, I would say there's nothing really to lab outside of like certain moves. Like, can you duck certain moves? What moves are minus? What moves are plus? Can you backdash out of a situation? Depends. If you're Alyssa or Zafina, probably. But like, you know, if you're other characters, it's difficult, especially if you're King. Feels like you're stuck in the mud. But like, there's just a lot of, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of things about Tekken 8 that just strips away traditional Tekken. Like, they took away chicken, where if someone like Jun or Asuka done an attack reversal, you can press forward and grab at the same, it's not at the same time, but it's like a very tight window, and you could break the attack reversal. They took that out. They took the fact that you could do low parries to aerial lows. Like, I think that's just silly because now moves like Can-Cans is running rampant. You can just do Can-Cans, throw it out, and just hope for the best. You know, a character like Jun is like spewing out like 80 plus damage in combos. It makes no sense. Like, you know, like I feel like Can-Cans is probably the worst offender when it comes to like aerial lows. Like, that's the worst offender. And I think that needs to be toned down. I think Can-Cans might need to have, if it hits, there might be like a scale in the damage or something like that. But it can't stay as how it is now. It's insane. Jun just hope for the best, boom. Then she's got attack reversals. She's got that parry thing where, you know, if she successfully does it, she then gets to hit you and then does her heat dash. And it's like, come on. But yeah, Tekken 8 as a game, I think is extremely bloated. It's a very bloated game compared to Tekken 7. Tekken 7, you had Rage, where if you go into Rage, you had Rage Art, Rage Drive. If you spend Rage Drive, that means you can't do Rage Art. If you spend Rage Art, that means you can't use Rage Drive. And then obviously you had like a bunch of stuff and then it was cool. But then like Tekken 8, you have like, for example, let me just go into, so if I go into Heat, like trying to explain this to someone in 5 minutes is ridiculous. But you got Heat, right? Where if I go into Heat, I can now do like a Heat engager move, sorry. And I can then cancel into a combo. I can't do God Fist on a new pad, sorry. But yeah, you can catch my drift. So like you could do it normal like this, or you can do the Heat Burst cancel, which gives you frames which you're like, you can be punished by. Like if I done Heat Burst like this normal, it doesn't attack. If it hits, it's +2. And from what I remember, if you block, it's +1. Let me just make sure that I'm talking the correct sense. +1, right? Yeah. So this is across the board. This is universal. All right, if I do this, you could do God Fist, God Fist, God Fist, God Fist, God Fist to the wall, or you could do some type of combo. I'm gonna try and do something basic. I don't even know Devil Jin, but we'll try to see. Yeah, even that doesn't work. I have no idea. But yeah, we'll just do jab. Oh yeah, he doesn't. It's up forward 3+4. But yeah, you catch my drift. You got long heat dash combos. You then have, if you go into heat, you have Heat Smash, which is like this ultimate attack in heat. But then obviously if you block with a lot of the characters, you're hella plus. There is no Devil Jin arc, by the way. I don't like this character. So like, look, you blocked all of that and he's +11. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like all of these like super overpowering things. But that's not to mention that you still have Rage in this game, and then you have Rage Art. So it's just like, it's very overwhelming. Very, very overwhelming game. There's just too much going on. So personally, if people could say they dislike Tekken 7, I hear that. But the whole reason that you're here for Tekken 8 is because you enjoyed Tekken 7. If you really didn't enjoy Tekken 7, you wouldn't be here for Tekken 8. So I don't understand this narrative where people are like, oh, hey man, like I don't like Tekken 7. Tekken 7 was this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you sure? Like, comparing Tekken 7 and comparing Tekken 8, look at the streamers that play Tekken 8, including myself. A lot of the streamers look stressed. They look unhealthy. And that's not in a rude way. They just look like they are going through it. Me included. I'm going through it when I'm playing this game. I'm stressed. I am just tired. I'm like, oh, I've got to go for another 50-50 again. You didn't feel like that in Tekken 7. The most you feel like that was similar to that is Akuma's down 3 into whatever if your back's against the wall, or Kunimitsu doing, that dash-in stance and pressing 2 and hoping for the best. If it hits on counter hit, then she gets a combo. But if you block it, it's -9. Whoop-dee-doo. No, she's -9. Yeah, so it's like, when you got a game like this where people are doing these mad powerful moves that you cannot power crush or do anything, there's no counterplay, and you're plus, it's kind of like, oh man, you really have to go through this again? And we're doing this multiple times. Like, I'll be streaming this game for like, what, 5 hours, 7 hours, whatever, and going through it with multiple different characters. Stressed, you know? The game needs work. I don't think people can have the right to say Tekken 8 is better than Tekken 7. It's just not. Even with all the glitz and glamour, the story mode was perfect. And then they ruined it with Heihachi. They must have went Amsterdam when they done that Heihachi plot. I'm 90% sure they went Amsterdam because that plot made no sense. Heihachi as a monk, and then he headbutts a meteor, and then he comes back to being evil again. And then you have Yoshi, Eddie, and Lydia like together in the story. It's the most random mix-up added in. It just didn't make sense to me. But yeah, that's my thoughts on obviously Tekken 7 versus Tekken 8 debate. I know a lot of people do this a lot of the time. Tekken 7 gameplay-wise was an absolutely amazing game. It had its faults, but actually, let's put it this way before I wrap up the video. I've never, since Tekken, I'll say, all right, so I competed in Tekken 6. That's where I first started. Like, I have never took a year, well, it's coming up to 8 months now. 8 months, 9 months? Yeah, I'd say 8 months. We're on 8 months going up to 9 months. I've never took a 9 months out of not competing for Tekken, for no Tekken game, since starting being a competitive player. So like Tekken 6, I always competed. Tekken Tag 2, I always competed. Tekken 7, I dropped off a little bit, but I was competing. You know, I traveled around, did what I needed to do. You know, maybe I was more on the content side, but I was still competing, doing online tournaments and stuff like that. Tekken 8, since season 2, I have not competed in one tournament. I went VSF, which is obviously our major in the UK, and I didn't compete. I just went to go show support and commentate and just help out and a few things and just see like some of the community members. But like, other than that, competing wasn't even on my mind, even though like I would say it was more easier because there wasn't many people that traveled overseas. Usually that tournament is a major, but it was a challenger event, so not many people traveled. Not many of like, you know, the UK heroes were there either. So it was kind of like, yeah, if you wanted to get into the top 8 or something, I think that would be the best chance to compete. But at the same time, I just was like, nah, I don't like Tekken 8 Season 2. I think Tekken 8 Season 2 is crazy. They're patching it slowly but surely, but it now seems like the main focus is on Armor King and new character Mirizu. I think hopefully I'm not butchering her name. But yeah, they're looking at those two characters, and then they have to work on Season 3, which I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they're not working on Season 3 right now, because Season 2 is not making sales, Anna's not making no sales, Fakura ain't making no sales. Armor King will make sales. I'll play Armor King. Armor King looks sick. But Mirizu, she looks generic. She got the start, she got like the bracelets on her legs and her arms. Sick. But her outfit looks hella generic outside of that. Gloves, a little vest, red eyes. Obviously they changed the facial features, sick, but again, I'm not understanding or liking the direction of Tekken 8. Tekken 7, there was a direction that I didn't like, which was like, I think Season 2 to 3 was what I didn't like. But then they kind of redeemed themselves, and then it kind of went a bit crazy around, like, I'd say Season 5 or whatever happened after Season 4, where they added Wall Stagger. That's when things started to go a bit like, all right, cool, this is a bit crazy. But other than that, like, yeah, if you used to ask me, if you reached to the end of the video, really, really appreciate you and your time and stuff like that. If you used to ask me what is the better game out of Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, right now, currently, I still think it's a bit unfair to kind of compare both games, because Tekken 7 has been out for like some time now, and then Tekken 8's only been out for a year and a half. So it's kind of unfair to compare the game. And, we already know Tekken 8 still needs fixing. But if we were to compare it both now, I would say Tekken 7 is a very clear winner, in my opinion. There's still basic things in Tekken 8, like, a score counter in lobbies. Like, we used to do the Mandem lobbies online, and you used to have a counter of everyone that's won their matches in that lobby online. They still don't have that. Tournament mode from Tekken 7 was a streamer's dream. You play with your community on the tournament mode, winner gets a prize, this, that, and the other. Like, it was just sick. But they took and stripped all of that away for I don't know what reason. It doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they actually do come around to it and say, all right, cool, you know what, we need to strip some stuff back. But I do think, you know, some stuff needs to be done. There's a question in my chat saying, what about Tekken 7 Season 2 compared to Tekken 8 Season 2? Tekken 7 Season 2 compared to Tekken 8 Season 2, I will be so real with you, I don't even know if that's even comparable. Tekken 7 Season 2, everyone was traveling, competing. No one had a word to say. Everyone was excited. Everyone was posting stuff on Twitter. Everyone was competing. Everyone was doing online tournaments. Tekken 7 Season 2, that gave so much health to the game. And the reason why it gave so much health to the game is not only because there was 6 DLC characters. Remember, Season 1 only had Noctis, Geese, and Tekken Ball, right? Tekken 7 Season 2, they had 6 characters. They had Anna, Lei, Armor King, Marduk, Julia, Negan. 6 characters. I would buy that. If they did that again, I'll buy the season pass in a heartbeat. You try compare that to Anna, Bakaram, Armor King, and a character we don't even know is even good or not. It's not really comparable. And the game was fully functioning. Yes, we had Akuma's down 3 into like combo if your back's against the wall. And yes, we had Geese crouching jab into like, you know, mad combo and stuff. But obviously we had Geese doing mid parry into like, you know, a lot of health. Those things, yeah, they were problematic and stuff, but we have a lot of problems here. And we're not talking about frames. We're talking about mechanical problems. He needs fixing. So comparing both of those two are night and day. Tekken 7 Season 2. Easy. I wouldn't even compare that. Like it's yeah. It's sad because like I said, like I know there's so much arguments that we can have here. We can have the fact that okay, Tekken 7 had the arcade for 2 years before. We can argue about that, but okay, let me break down a question to you. You lot can let me know afterwards. If you're at a job for 30 years, yeah, you would learn from your mistakes by now, right? That's just the question I want to leave with you. If you've been at a job for 30 years, compared to when was Tekken 7 out? Let's say like, all right, they were on their 22nd year of doing Tekken games. You're on your 30th year, or even like, let's say even more, less than that. Let's say, all right, Tekken 8 came out, 28 years of Tekken. You have 28 years of experience. So that means you should be making less mistakes, right? Like you should be making, you know, you should be like, all right, cool, this is what happened in Tekken 7. Take some notes and, you know, what were some setbacks and stuff, and try to do stuff differently this time around. Do you understand what I mean? So like, if you're not gonna do those things and have like those type of changes in it to win it, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Big love, bro. Yeah, if you're not gonna do those things to change, and you're gonna keep doing the same mistakes, you know, same silly plush frames and stuff on block, then you're gonna be in problems. And not only that, the shop, oh my, you know what, I could talk about this subject for so long, but I want you lot to let me know in the comment section down below what you lot think about this, because obviously I've given out a lot of things that I feel like made Tekken 7 great. We're not even gonna talk about the presets in terms of costumes. Like we have 4 costume presets in Tekken 8. In Tekken 7, you had loads, you know? And I feel like if you're to buy like costumes in Tekken 8, sorry. If you're to buy costumes in Tekken 8, then why do you have to put them together in customization? Why is it not just automatically put together as a preset and then the items are added to customization as well? So if you want to mix and match, then it's okay. Like, it's just certain little things that it just doesn't make sense. But again, that's my thoughts on it. You lot can have your thoughts. Again, I hope the game obviously sells. Like, it's not a thing of like, okay, yeah, I'm just hating on the game because, you know, it's trendy. You know, I was disliking the game at the early stages when people saying I was crying and complaining and whinging. I had my reasons. And it's like, you know, it's evident because a lot of people that are playing this game, they don't look happy. You know, even like down to the amount of content that's being posted on, you know, the interweb X, you know, like combo videos, this, that, and other. Not many people are posting, you know, inconsistency in, you know, just interactions and certain things like that, it's not the same. It just doesn't feel the same. Everyone kind of we're just playing the game. And I think the smartest thing they did, the smartest thing Bandai did, and I was saying this before, the smartest thing they did was they added loads of God of Destruction modes. And you know why that's smart? It's because all the pro players will be shutting up about the game, because, you know, we all want to get to the highest rank. Obviously, we got Ninja Killer on God of Destruction 5. Everyone else is on God of Destruction 1, 2, or 3, if you're, you know, that good at the game. So now, like, we got stuff to do. We're trying to get to that God of Destruction 8 or Infinity or whatever it's called. We're trying to work hard. It's a very hard grind. It's a very long and hard grind. But, you know, if we want to get to that, then we have to play. But it shuts up the pro players, you know, from talking about these things. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want to play to the high ranks. Whereas in Tekken 7 Season 1, everyone got to God of Destruction very early. So, you know, the only thing you could do is get 99999 on your point system. If you get that, then everyone's like, all right, cool. They'll tweet it, say, all right, cool, we got that. What's next? God of Destruction, you know, 1 to 8 is giving us stuff to do. The grind is a lot more hard. It's a lot more savage. You know, do I agree with it? I don't know. That might be a conversation for another video if you don't want me to talk about that. But right now, Tekken 7 is a better game than Tekken 8. But I still think it's an unfair argument because Tekken 7 had a very long time to iron itself out. They had the arcade for 2 years. They also have had, you know, many different seasons. And now we're on Tekken 8. And I do believe that, hey, you know, they're doing things differently. You know, we've got a shop, we've got a fight pass that is, you know, they gave us a clear ball in premium, which I'm still never going to be happy about until, you know, Tekken 9, Tekken 10. I think that's insane to give us a plain ball as an item you need to purchase. I think that's crazy. But again, there's loads of different mistakes they've done. I just hope that they actually, you know, I feel like what Japanese fighting game developers need to start doing a lot more is doing surveys, because I feel like it feels like they don't know what they're doing. You know, season 2 with all the new moves and all the frame changes and stuff, insane, absolutely insane. It ruined the game. At the end of season 1 was actually quite decent. There was only a couple characters that needed changing. Season 2 is a whole load of new problem, you know, and it's sad. But anyways, let me not ramble on. I could talk about Tekken 8 for a very long time. You know, I'm a big fan of Tekken series, so I just want this to be very clear that it's not like a complaint or whinging type of video. This is coming from a place of love. I do love the Tekken series. If I didn't, I would have packed my bags and gone to Street Fighter or another fighting game. But, you know, I'm still here trying to understand the game. I'm still here trying to play the game. I'm still here giving my views. I'm still here making the same content. So, yeah, it's more on the lines of, I hope this game does really well. I hope they do change a few things. We'll see how it goes, man. Other than that, take it easy. Peace.